Hey, it's NOOCH, and today, October 7th, 2020, we have 6 legendary character cards in LEGO Star Wars Battles, and we're going to rank them all from bottom to top. Now, before we jump in, NOOCH should say that he has played against all of these legendaries and seen all of them used well, seen all of them used poorly, and done the same himself. Used all of them well, used them all poorly. And just for reference, all of the footage you're about to see was taken within a 2-day period of NOOCH using every legendary just to get some footage for the game and really to understand a little more of how they work so he could give you the feedback. So let's start. Coming in at number 6 is Master Yoda. Boy, NOOCH wishes Yoda could be ranked higher, but really, quite honestly, these are legendary characters, so you love them all. But, Yoda he doesn't have a lot of health. He is fast. He is the fastest of the legendaries. He has a 360 damage arc. Those are kind of his benefits. He has a health shield around him, which is a shield around him, which keeps units around him from taking as much damage, does not prevent them from taking all damage. Yoda himself can still take damage from towers, and all of them can be hit from a bomber run above. And they might all be able to hit by towers, too. We'd have to take a look, and NOOCH can't ever figure that out because we don't use Yoda that much. And honestly, Yoda was the toughest one to get the footage for because really you're trying to take advantage of his special, which is that protection circle, and you have to get it just right for it to work. You really have to be in the right situation with Yoda teaming up with some other units. One way to do that is to maybe drop some porgs and Yoda at the same time. Yoda will outrun them, and by the time he gets to the tower, if he can get to the tower, he can put the circle up ahead of the porgs getting there. But even then, a well-timed seismic charge or a bomber can still take him out. So that's the challenge with Yoda. He's exciting. We all love Yoda, but he comes in at number 6 for those reasons. Now, numbers 5 through 3 were really challenging for NOOCH. He wasn't sure how to order them. And you're going to find in this video that NOOCH has some different feelings about somebody like Phasma, but kind of went with the community consensus on these characters more than his own ideas. So coming in at 5 is Princess Leia. Now, Leia would have been dead last prior to an update about 3 weeks ago, and that update expanded her circle, so her circle of inspiration got bigger, and it also, I think it sped up units more too, or it took shorter to load up. Just not sure, but there's just the fact that it was bigger made Leia a viable legendary hero for regular games. And if you look at her in the events, she's actually kind of OP in the events. Leia is a really useful character. NOOCH found a lot of ways to use her. That inspiration circle can really be used really well. Part of the problem is, though, that one good seismic charge as she's getting it started, and boom, the whole thing is gone. So she's still vulnerable, but if you get it loaded up right, the inspiration, she can take out a tower with a little bit of help from her friends faster than anybody's business. And if you put her with a Tauntaun and BB-8, they will get down the field and attack so fast you don't blink because that tower will be gone. So Princess Leia comes in at number 5. At number 4, NOOCH's girlfriend, Captain Phasma. NOOCH loves Phasma. She is Phasmatastic, and when you take out somebody with Phasma, you always have to mention you got Phasma'd. However, while NOOCH says he loves Phasma and that's his favorite dark side legendary, he's pretty much the only one using her. Other people try to use Phasma and really struggle. The Booma Balls are a pretty good counter to Phasma, although NOOCH has found a way to put an AT-AT in front of her. There are different ways to counter it. Primarily, one of the big ways is to get 2 rushes going either side of the board. Since she spawns stormtroopers, you could have a completely different rush on both sides of the board, and then your opponent has to deal with one of them and make some decisions. So, NOOCH does love Phasma. She's not as good against a really skilled opponent. They have ways of countering Phasma. But if you play somebody who's not expecting a Phasma rush, they will get Phasma'd quickly, and they will get Phasma'd strongly, and they will have no idea what hit them. Their tower, their TIE fighter, their X-Wing will be dead, and they won't even know that they were in danger. And that's what Phasma can do for you. NOOCH loves her, but she comes in at 4 mainly because most of the community is not using Phasma at this moment, has not figured her out the way that NOOCH has. Number 3, Boba Fett Boba Fett, where? Boba Fett. NOOCH likes Boba Fett, not as well as Phasma, but NOOCH does enjoy Boba Fett. Boba Fett's special is really kind of awesome. It takes out an entire flock of porgs, an entire group of Ewoks. It can shred an Ewok tower. His special is something special. When he goes up in the air, the Booba Balls can't hit him unless they're timed perfectly or they get some splash damage. So Boba Fett is really very special. He's just not as tanky as the other legendaries, but you're going to see a lot of usage of Boba Fett, not only because his character card is so good, but also people just love Boba Fett. I mean, if NOOCH puts Boba Fett on a thumbnail, you may have noticed that NOOCH put him on this thumbnail, people just pay attention. You know, people really love Boba Fett. It's the same reason we all love The Mandalorian. It's the same armor, that helmet. It's so iconic. We look back at the movies, and really in the original movies, Boba Fett didn't have a lot to do, but I will argue with people, his character was extremely meaningful. He's the only character in Star Wars that could ever deal with Han Solo and bring him to justice, so to speak. So Boba Fett comes at number 3 because he is a really good character card in the game and very useful, and is used by a lot of people in the community. Number 2. Now, again, NOOCH would have reworked number 2 and number 1, but we're trying to go with what the community is using and the community agrees on. So coming in at number 2 is Luke Skywalker. Your favorite and mine, your hero of your boyhood or girlhood, Luke Skywalker is everyone's hero. So what Luke does is he's very, very tanky. Very, very tanky. Him and his counterpart, we'll find his father, find out in a minute, they both have a lot of health. They move very slowly, so you can really carry a group of units behind them. They do a very good job of that. Luke's special blasts out in front of him in a cone. So it just goes straight out, right, left, in a cone. It stuns all the units. It does damage. But the reason people prefer Darth Vader to Luke, even though their specials do about the same amount of damage, Luke's is farther out in front. I'll tell you about Darth Vader's in a minute. But Luke's special pushes people back. It pushes characters back. So you'd want it to do a little more damage than our number 1 legendary. Because when it pushes them back, they're stunned, they recover, then they come back in and get on the attack again. That's the reason that most people rank Luke a little bit lower than our number 1 hero, and that is why Luke comes in at number 2. Honestly, if NOOCH is ranking, NOOCH would put Phasma 1 and Luke 2. So Luke is number 2 either way. But coming in at number 1, as agreed on by most of the community, everyone uses him, they all love him, the Dark Lord of the Sith, your father and mine, NOOCH Darth Vader. So Darth Vader has the same tankiness as Luke. He's got that big health. He moves just as slow, like father, like son. They both have a lot of health. They both move really slow. They both have an AoE, stunning damage dealing special. But Darth Vader's is in a circle around him. He doesn't push units away. He lifts them up and he throws them down, just like in Rogue One, which we all love the scene, the up, the slice in half, the down. That's exactly what Darth Vader does. And that's why people prefer him over Luke, because he doesn't push units away and give them a chance to recover. He brings them up, he brings them down, he gets back to work. And that's it. NOOCH really has been able to win with all of these legendaries, as you can see in the footage that we've got going over here. NOOCH has been able to win with all of them. And if NOOCH had a preference, he would move Phasma up to the top and move everybody down 1 rung. Maybe move Leia up a little bit too. NOOCH is loving the ladies. So that's your legendary ranking for today, October 7th, 2020. We hope that very soon we'll have some more legendaries, a global launch, and clans, and we can all get on with our lives and really enjoy this game with a whole giant community around the world. And while we're doing that, we got to keep in mind, NOOCH too good.